Good morning. Thank you for joining me for this latest update on our Frontline Men's Ministry from Middle Georgia and our latest update on our mission work in Haiti. I just want to share with you a few things that we've been getting at our latest Bible studies and men's get together, and even this morning, early morning, with a couple of guys that I pray with every morning. I keep thinking about the problem in Haiti, and Pastor Willie Severe, the Severe Foundation to Haiti that we work with down in Haiti, and his father's been down for the last 50 years. He's going back down next week, and we've established a few things that will help us raise some funds to be able to fund just his little short trips down here. We've developed these little bracelets, for example, they're called Hearts for Haiti, and it's also got our website on it, which is now flmmi.org. And if you'd like to know more about our organization, please, you're probably already there because that's how you get in this website right here. But if you'd like any of these bracelets to put out at your different businesses, etc., let us know. And these, we sell them or ask for donations. We don't sell them. We ask for donations for $1 a piece. Just let people know that you're involved with our Haiti mission trip, and we'd love to send you a bucket of these, put in with a little logo, and etc. Gives a little bit of information on our organization, how to get onto the website. So just let us know if you'd like some of those, and we'll get some right out to you. But more importantly, I want to share with you what we keep getting in prayer. We keep looking back at our own history here in this country and what got us started here, and what the difference of the United States has been for the last 200 years over most of the other countries of the world. And it keeps going back to our grassroots foundation in our children. And where the United States has been slipping for the last 40 years that I've watched and observed is when we basically started taking our emphasis off of training our children and ended up started working more about just accumulating wealth and business, etc. And we've allowed our children to be raised by the television sets and the media and the music they listen to, etc. And we just haven't been paying enough attention. We've taken the grandparents out of raising our kids when both parents had to work, and we put them in child care facilities, and we're allowing strangers to raise our children. And then with the emphasis in Haiti, where I've watched and observed over the last 7 or 8 years, is that they've abandoned their orphans, and they've got just an enormous amount of people and kids on the streets, 400,000 to 1 million now. Of orphans on the streets, and allowing these children to raise themselves on the streets of Haiti. And when you do that, you just raise and you become hard. When you don't know and see and feel the compassion and love of God in other people, when all you see is a dog-eat-dog gang mentality, that's what you learn and that's what you become. And so, as I see and bring emphasis back to James 1:27, that you'll hear me repeat repeatedly about what is pure and undefiled religion is coming to the distress of the orphans and widows. And as I pray and ask, Lord, how do we do that? He keeps bringing back the emphasis of abiding in Him. That if I try to do it in my own power, I won't be able to do it. And it keeps coming back to our individual walk with the Lord and abiding and obeying what He tells each and every one of us to do. The problem in Haiti is overwhelming to any one individual. And so it doesn't matter to me who does the work in Haiti. It matters to me who I'm partnered with, and do they serve the same God that I serve, so that I know that they will be held accountable, not by me, but by God. And I think that's the biggest problem in Haiti that I've observed, is that there's no accountability. But, we could say that same thing about it in our own country here over the last 20 years. We've lost the accountability, not the accountability of man, but the accountability of God. And we lost that because we've allowed our last 4 generations of children to be raised without prayer in the schools. And we've allowed our last 4 generations of kids to be raised by the media, by the televisions and the radios and now the iPods and the music industry. And the enemy has taken over these media, and they're teaching our children the wrong things. And we, as mature Christians, need to start getting back to teaching our children and our grandchildren, and in Haiti, even the orphans that don't have parents and grandparents. So that does remain our focus, is to focus in on the children. And my heart is to build more orphanages and schools in Haiti than it is anything else, just so we can start teaching the children godly biblical values. And that's what's missing in Haiti. And that's, to be quite honest, that's what's missing in our own country. It's amazing how many of our young people now have no concept at all about God, about Jesus, about the Holy Spirit, about biblical values, about how to not only love God with your whole heart, mind, and soul, but also how to love your neighbor as yourself. Most of them are being raised just to survive, just to accumulate. And it doesn't make any difference how you get there and who you take advantage of, and that's sad. So it's my generation's responsibility now as we come into the later years of our lives, when we have more time than we used to have to focus on the children. That's the role of the grandparent, is to focus on the children, to raise up the children and the grandchildren, and to bring them biblical values again. So my heart goes out to each and every one of you as you deal with the children in your own life and the grandchildren in your own life, and I challenge you to bring more focus back on that. And if we abide in Him and He in us, and then we walk in that abiding of God, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit in each and every one of us, then we don't have to worry about the outcome, because that's His responsibility. What we need to do is just obey. So I ask you to don't abandon that time alone with the Lord, where He's going to guide and direct you. And we're looking for other partners who abide in Him. And if the partner abides in Him, I don't have to worry about keeping track of what he's doing and whether he's doing right or wrong, because God will take care of that. And so we ask for your partnership in our day-to-day routine and in our lives, and whatever God puts on your heart to do to help us in any way, shape, or form, we appreciate. But I really covet your prayers more than anything else. And then whatever God tells you to do, you do it. Don't do what I say to do. Do what God tells you to do. And God will tell you what your role is supposed to be with us. And so I just urge you to spend more time alone with the Lord and do what He tells you to do each and every day. I think that's really the real message for today. You don't need my urging or manipulation or controlling anything that you say or do. All I'm really saying is go back and spend time with Him, and He'll tell you what you're supposed to do. We do appreciate all the help that is coming in. We've accumulated an awful lot of stuff to go to Haiti. In fact, we're going to have to back off. We'll get 3 containers full. We've got an 80-seat Bluebird school bus that we're fixing to fill up. We've got an actually container full, a whole tractor trailer full of water ready to go. But we don't have the means to be able to get it down there. Each one of these containers costs about $6,000 to ship. And so if you've got any ideas along that lines, or got any methods that we don't know, you pray about it and you get with us, and we've got a lot of stuff to send. Now we need to have the means to send it. So I just ask you to continue to pray for us and give us guidance as to what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to do it. Pray for Pastor Willis Severe as he goes back to Haiti this next Monday. He needs your prayers. He's going down right now to reestablish our connections. The government is completely upside down, as you already know. A lot of the government efforts right now that are being controlled by the UN and the U.S., etc., they're now going out and taking back land that's been given to a lot of the nonprofit organizations, and because they weren't allowed, they weren't able to fence in the property. One of the requirements on property that was given to organizations is that the first thing you have to do is you have to fence it in. We've got 2 15-acre tracts of land. Well, it doesn't take a genius to figure out how costly it is to fence in a 15-acre facility. You're looking at somewhere between $50,000 and $100,000 to do that, and of course we don't have that kind of money. So we're trying to think of creative ways to get our property fenced in so they won't be able to take it back. These 2 tracts of land we've been holding back, waiting for the right opportunity to go in and build an orphanage and a medical clinic and a school right there on those facilities. And things are starting to fall together in that lines, but now the government's going in and acting and basically threatening to take back any land that's not fenced in. And so we're sending Pastor Willis Severe back down to Haiti this next week to make sure that doesn't happen to our land. So pray about that, and pray for his safety, and anybody that may go with him. There's a small possibility if I can get a way to get down and back for a couple of days that I'll be going with him also, or somebody will. I would love to go down and see for myself, but so far the Lord hasn't released me to do that, and released the funds to do that. So we try to be good stewards of the funds that are given to us and make sure they go for what they were given for. So